Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bouncing Back with Brighton. In today's episode we are going to start the season off at home against Swansea City, but of course there's a full summer transfer window to review. So we did start the summer with quite a bit of money. I think it was 75 million was our starting transfer budget. We managed to reclaim £30.5 million by selling players we basically didn't want anymore, and we spent £88 million. We'll quickly run through the sales first. Bissouma went to Swansea for £14 million. I believe Swansea are a newly promoted side, as they were interested in a few of our players. He's a decent enough player and he was good back up for the defensive midfield and the centre of midfield, but we've just got players who we would rather give game time to rather than him. Martin Montoya has joined Karabag. We already knew this was coming. We sold him, or we at least agreed the deal during the January transfer window, but he didn't leave until the summer, so he has went for 7.5. Anthony Notiart was in the final year of his contract. I did half want to keep him and just let him leave on a free, but £6.5 million is a bit too good to turn down for somebody who's not going to be here next season regardless of what happens. I'm not going to be offering a 30-year-old Anthony Notiart a new contract, so I thought best just cash in on him. We'll free up the wages, we'll get the money in, and we'll look to reinvest. Alex Martinez left the club as well. Our third choice left back joined Preston for £1.3 million. He was another one who was in the final year of his deal, and whilst he's a decent left back and he did a great job for us in the Championship, we've just got better options there now. So 30 years old, let him go. That is absolutely fine. Billy Arce to Norwich for £1 million. He never really used him, to be honest. He had some good potential, but we always had players with either higher potential or higher current ability than what this guy has. So he didn't really make many appearances for me. He came back off on a loan spell and he only made 4 appearances for us in the Championship. Nothing in the Premier League. So 1 million's not too bad. Jose Izquierdo has left the club on a free transfer and he's joined Montreal Impact. He did bits for us in was that our first season? I think it was, yeah. Actually, did he? Yeah, well, let's win the Championship. He scored 15 goals in 35 games with the 2 assists, but he just had no game time last season, so pointless keeping him. In terms of some of these, a lot of the youngsters that we've signed who we'll review here have went and left the club and joined other clubs on loan for the season to further their development. So, well, let's jump into the ins. Harry Winks is the first one. I needed somebody who was trained in England. So Harry Winks was the guy. He's came in. He is going to be a backup option for us in the defensive midfield and central midfield positions. To be honest with you, he's probably good enough to start now midfield, maybe over Bulat or Baluta. But as those two players are our own and both have potential to grow, it's highly unlikely Harry Winks is going to get much game time, but we're paying quite a hefty fee to bring him in. He was the only sort of decent option I could find. Next up in the ins is £350,000 for Pedro Sarr. If you could check over here, he has joined Nacional de Madeira on loan for the season. He's an attacking midfielder, got really good physical stats. He is declining actually, which is a little bit worrying. He was 2.5 star, 4.5 star. He was 5-star while he was here. Currently operating at a Sky Bet Championship level. This is not one of the ones who I foresee breaking into the first team squad and becoming a first team member. He's purely signed to bring him in, develop him for a couple of seasons, then look to see if we can make a bit of profit on him. Mark Rigetti from Basel for £1.7 million. He's pretty much in a similar boat. He's a 2-star current 5-star. Has it changed? It hasn't. So he's 2-star current 5-star potential. Currently operating at a League 1 level. A very, very raw left winger. He's got some fantastic attributes in some of the key places, but a lot of his attributes are very, very poor. So he's went out on loan to Servette FC. We'll see how he gets on there. Jason Price from Bury for £2.2 million. He is English, which is lovely. He's joined Rotherham on loan for the season, who are in the Championship, so he will be getting Championship football under his belt. But he's actually one of the ones who I can see developing really nicely. His physicals are very well rounded. Mentally, he's sort of there, if not completely. And technically, he's got the main three that are like dribbling, finishing, first touch. Heading's good as well. So we'll see how he develops out on loan. We signed him from Bury, he actually played a full season of Championship football when he was only 17 years old. So hopefully Rotherham can do him well. Emmanuel Lettieri was signed from San Lorenzo for £2.3 million. He's a centre-back who, again, physically very well-rounded, mentally well-rounded, and technically in the right places. A 3-star current, 5-star potential. He was actually going to be in my first team squad, but I'll explain why he's not shortly. He is currently on the under-23s. I am trying to get him loan game time out, but I think clubs are a bit hesitant to actually offer him because of how new he is to joining the club. The reluctant offer of loans, I've had no loan offers for him whatsoever, which is a little bit surprising considering he could easily play at the Championship, let's say. So if somebody from the Championship came in, I'll bite the hands off for him to take him forward this season. Next up was Abilio Neves, was signed from Boavista. He has joined Pedro Sá at Nacional de Madeira on loan for the season. £3 million, a left back, another one. I see him basically replacing Virgilion once he gets sold, and he's probably going to get sold this season due to Carlio, whatever his name was, the Colombian left back. He's going to be my first choice, so I imagine Virgilion will then kick up a fuss and want to leave the club, and this guy will come in and be our backup left back. But for this season, he has joined Nacional de Madeira. Mark van der Ven, we've signed from PSV for £3.5 million. A decent centre-back, not as well-rounded as Lettieri. He's went out on loan to FC Emmen. I think he was 2-star, 4.5. That's right. Potential to be a Premier League central defender in the future, so we'll see how he develops whilst out on loan. Hisham Bentayeb, he's from Rennes, £4.6 million, and he is, along with the other three above him, in the first team squad for this season. I've signed him to be our backup defensive midfielder. I'm training him in that Segunda Volantia role. He will play understudy to Tudor Baluta, but that just gives me the emphasis to be able to take Baluta off, which I didn't last season, really. I didn't really want to take him off and put this guy in his space. He's only 18 years old, plenty of room to grow, and I think he will be a big part of our future. Next up, Rodrigo Marquez was signed from LA Galaxy for £8.5 million. That was their minimum release fee, and he is coming in to be our second choice / first choice striker, depending on how he performs alongside Romoli. Them two are going to be our two options up front. He can play the complete forward role, which we are currently deploying. Technically, he's absolutely fantastic, and physically as well. It's his mentals what let him down just a little bit. So hopefully they can improve as he gets game time in the first team this year. Amara Mbola was signed from Benfica for £22.5 million. Now he is being deployed on our right-hand side. He's going to be our first choice right winger, basically replacing Harry Wilson from last season. But we've also got Alvarado, who can play there in case this guy isn't up to snuff. But I think he will be. He's got fantastic physicals, the mentals in the right places, technicals is absolutely on point. So we'll see how he gets on. It's big shoes to fill. Harry Wilson scored a lot of goals for us last season, particularly in the first half of the season. So yeah, we'll see how he gets on. Paid big money, but I'm expecting big things. And finally, we signed a centre-back, Benoit Badiachile, from Olympic Lyon for £36.5 million. Now, to me, this guy's by far and away our best central defender. His preferred role is the ball-playing defender role, which is what I currently deploy. His physicals are just beautiful, absolutely brilliant. Mentally, he could do some of the improvement. Technically, 14, 13, 14 in the key places, 12 for his passing. We'll see how he develops over the course of the season, but that's the nice thing about him. He's only 20 years old, and he's got plenty of room to grow. In terms of the makeup from the rest of the squad, one of the key reasons why Lettieri is currently in the under-23s, not the first team squad, is because Edson Alvarez actually ended up staying at the club. Chelsea came in with an offer for him, I think it was like £19 million or something, so I just rejected it out of hand, and now he's kicked up a massive fuss and he wants to leave the club, and no clubs are offering decent money for him. I've offered him out for £35 million, which I think is a reasonable fee. And to be honest with you, I don't think I would go any lower than that. But nobody's coming in with anything over, I think it was 23 is the biggest we've had, which is just not a good price for me. He's probably, between him and Badiachile, which one is our best? But for me now, he's basically third choice. John Souttar and Badiachile will be our first choice centre-backs for this season. So in terms of the incomings, have we really improved our first 11? We probably haven't, actually. Obviously, in the future, it'll be vastly improved due to the potential of some of these boys that were brought in. But in terms of right now, how they're going to play this season, maybe we're a little bit weaker than I would initially think. But hopefully, over the course of the season, as the season progresses, as the players improve in their attributes, we can get better. So I am expecting a similar sort of finish to what we did last season. Maybe 7th or thereabouts, trying to claim European football. But of course, we've also got the the Europa League to worry about. Go straight in at the group stage. That's going to add a lot of games onto our players, a lot of tiredness, a lot of injuries. So maybe that might affect the league performance. But it also gives some of the players who don't get so much game time opportunities to get on the pitch and develop themselves. Today, we're going to play Swansea in the opening game of the Premier League season. We are at home, and this is how we're going to line up. Butland in goal, Tavares at right back, Sutar and Badiashile at centre back. Reguilon will start at left back as Carlos Julio is currently injured. Tudor, Baluta and Marco Bulat will be in the centre. Mbalo, Gravenberch and Doku will be our attacking midfielders. And Marquez is going to lead the line for today's game, basically down to his impressive performances in the friendlies over the summer. So Swansea come us with a 4-2-3-1. Bissouma is starting for them, which is nice to see. I'm glad he's getting game time. I don't really care about the rest of them. Let's kick off. So we'll kick off shooting from left to right in the first half. It's always nice to start with a win, and at home against a newly promoted side, you would expect us to be able to put the numbers up and get our 3 points straight away. But it's not always how things works. As the first highlight comes about, we didn't give the ball away after a throw-in. Not directly anyway, so I'm happy with that. Reguilon plays the ball through. Marquez is in behind. His first opportunity for the club in a competitive fixture, and it's going to VAR. Of course it's going to VAR. Why did I get excited? Come on, referee, please. He's made the right decision, I think. If the replay is shown, that is the right decision. Reguilon with an absolutely fabulous through ball with his weak foot, and Marquez at the with his left foot. Is he left-footed? He is left-footed. Oh, okay. And there is another highlight 26 minutes in. Swansea are currently in possession. Let's see how this plays out. Jones slips through Townsend on the right-hand side. He's in behind. And he beats Jack Butland at his near post. That was awful. John Sutar here. You'll see it in the replay. It's a big kick up by the Swansea City goalkeeper. And Sutar, under no pressure whatsoever, gives them the ball straight back from a header. A decent little through ball, splitting the defence. And Butland should do better there. He shouldn't be getting beat at his near post. Another highlight now, 34 minutes in. Doku picks it up from a throw-in. Is he going to take the strike on? He is. It's a save by the keeper. And that's the end of highlight. Another highlight, goal, free kick for Swansea. Townsend gets it, but Bulat can pick up the ball and hopefully retain possession. He finds Marquez, who switches the play nicely to Tavares on his right-hand side. He's got loads of overlapping, and Doku's there. What a finish that is. His first time finish. His first goal of the season. Assist for Tavares. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It was a decent break by us. Marquez doing incredibly well to feed the ball to Tavares on this right hand side, and I thought he was going to slop it down the line here, but he didn't. Doku, fantastic first time finish, left the keeper flat footed, and that makes it 2-1. And there we are, half time. Brighton 2, Swansea 1. A little disappointing to concede a goal in the manner that we did in particular. I think Sutar should do a lot better to clear with that header, but he didn't. We're conceded by it. No matter, we are 2-1 up now, so the game's in our hands. Highlight now, Gravenberch with a free kick. We know he can be special from these, but not this time. Another highlight now, Roberts is set away down the right hand side for Swansea. Gets the ball back post. Oh my days. Jack Butland, you have redeemed yourself, no doubt. I thought that was point blank. I thought that was a goal no matter what happened. As Swansea is still attacking after this corner, Harrison's offside. Thank God for that. 25 minutes to go, we'll look to make some substitutions. Not everybody's having a great game out there, to be honest with you. I think I'll bring on Romoli for Marquez. Despite him scoring the goal, he's only on a 7 rating, which usually, if you score from open play, it's usually a lot higher than that. So we'll get him off. In terms of who else is struggling, Sutar's struggling a little bit. We could get Edson. We'll get Edson and Valores on. Listen. There's a point to have 3 really good centre-backs, and that's to give them game time. And despite Alvarez spitting his... Oh, Tavares, come on. Despite Alvarez spitting his dummy out, I'm not going to cut my nose off to spite me face when one of our other centre-backs is playing poorly. Townsend coming down the right-hand side for Swansea. Oh my God, that's got to be offside, ref. Come on. Offside? It is. Right, lads, you need to start... We're playing cautiously here. We really need to stop giving them opportunities, as we'll pick up with another highlight here. Tavares on the right hand side. Mbalo to Baluta. Bulat. Back to Tavares. Come on, lads. Can we work something here? There's overlap on the right hand side. Come on, Tavares. Ball played in. Baluta's... Oh, he takes a strike. He hits the crossbar. Falls back. Oh, God. Somebody, please. Put me out my misery. Another highlight now when Swansea City are deep in their own half, currently in possession. It's played up to Cenk Tosun, whatever his name is. Umaro Mbalo here. Can he find anybody on this left hand side? Bulat plays the ball out to Tavares on the right hand side. Romoli's front post. You've got to be putting them in the back of the net. Bulat has now picked up an injury. We'll have to get him off. We'll get Bentayeb on in his place. We're not looking to give Harry Winks game time here, as long as he's not kicking up too much of a fuss. And it looks like with 20 seconds remaining, we might just about hold on to this victory. Basoma goes for goal from deep, Butland claims, and with only 10 seconds remaining, you would imagine that is going to be all she wrote for this game. And there we are, full time, Brighton 2, Swansea 1. We're a little bit fortunate, honestly. I think we can count ourselves lucky to get 3 points from that. We should have put more opportunities in the back of the net, and we should have cut down on the amount of opportunities Swansea City did actually have. It's all going to be a learning curve this season, obviously with a lot of young players coming in. It might take us some time to bed them in and let them improve and get used to the tactical system. So we can't judge too harshly on the first 5 or 10 games or so. Looking forward to the next episode. We are going to jump 5 games in the future, which is quite a lot for us, and start with our first game of the Europa League campaign for this season. We're going to actually link it with the Liverpool game, so we'll play them too, Liverpool at home and whoever we get in the Europa League. But anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.